just put the hands together, bring it straight up to 20. So welcome to the stage, Sean!
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. I am Sean Jolly. I genuinely tell you that is my real name. I have been blessed with the last name Jolly. And I come from a little city called Hereford. Now give me a cheer if you've ever actually heard of Hereford. Hereford, for those that don't know, is an out from Cardiff. It's an out from Birmingham. It's 50 years from anything relevant to today's society. And because I come from Hereford, my friends are very, very, very uninspired people. So when it comes to my birthday, they'll do the usual thing of, he's a jolly good fellow. And when it's Christmas, it's 'tis the season to be jolly. And when it's Easter, it's 'tis the season to be jolly. And when I open up suggestions for my Edinburgh Fringe show, it ends up being named 'tis the season to be jolly. I'm allergic to tinsel. I'm a fifth year at Bristol University. What a fifth year means is, if at first you don't succeed, try again, and then when you're not scared by crippling debt and social anxiety, do a master's degree as well. I did my degree in film studies. Film studies was a very important degree for me. It taught me the important questions in life, like, is feminism prominent in American cinema? Is animation genre? Would you like fries with your cheeseburger? So, as I said, I'm a fifth year basketball. When it was at the end of my second year, I came out as bisexual to my friends. Yeah! And you know what you're thinking? I'm the most hetero-looking straight man in the world, with the pink hair and the nail varnish, and I'm usually wearing makeup if you see me around. I work at the SU bar. What that means is I'm an amazing decision maker because I give alcohol to drunk students. So I came out as bisexual to my friends, and my friends being from Hereford and having absolutely no clue about life, asked me what it's like being bisexual, and I was like, well, it's like going into an old school candy store. And on one side of the room there's chocolate, and on the other side of the room you've got sweet, and you're allowed to have both of them. And then they asked me, Jolly, what's your love life like at the moment? I was like, my friends, let me tell you. So I go into an old school candy store, there's chocolate on one side of the room, and there's sweets on the other. But you've got diabetes. And if you touch any of it, something you need later in life will fall off your body. You may notice I move about quite a bit. I'm a little bit socially anxious. I've got Asperger's syndrome. And to have Asperger's, it's you sometimes don't understand what other people are talking about. And you don't like it when people are staring at you, and you don't like being the centre of attention, and sometimes you can't tell when things are funny and when they're not. So I joined the Comedy Society. I got an Edinburgh Fringe show. The Edinburgh Fringe show was amazing. I had some days where 30 people turned up, and I had some days where 0 people turned up, and only one person in the room that day thought my set was shit. But going back to my friends being lovely, inspiring people, because my Asperger's, I always kind of listen to my friends when they gave examples of what I need to do in life. And I'll give you a story, and the story's entitled The Night My Friends Nearly Drowned Sean Jolly. We were 16. We were in Hereford. We were down a country road. We were drunk. Jolly's walking down the road, got on a Baileys in his hand. His friend, who shouldn't be named because he's a dickhead, we'll call him William Prothero, he's walking next to him. And in the distance, because Jolly's eyesight isn't that great when he's not wearing glasses, which is why I'm doing it right now, because I can't see any of you, Jolly and Will see a car. But it's fine, because it's probably someone coming back from work at 2 o'clock in the morning, in the pouring rain, on a Wednesday evening. But no, William sees on the top of the car, there's a light. Now, I don't know, but I was too young and pretty at that stage to go to jail. But being the questionable, impressionable, easily led person that I am, I agreed to everything that Will said to get us out of this predicament. So William turns to me and goes, Jolly, it's the police. We need to hide on the driveway across the road. So William runs, And I run, bottle of Baileys in my hand, in the pouring rain, drunk at 2 o'clock in the morning, questioning my life choices at this point. And William jumps, and I get flung in the air, because William has grabbed me by my coat and lifted me into the air with him. And Will does this majestic dive onto the driveway. And Johnny's going, gone, because the driveway has a large river next to it, and Johnny's now in the river. Now, it could have been okay, because he did get me out of the river after the bottle of Baileys, and his mobile phone, and my glasses. I was the fourth most important thing in that evening, and he gets me out of the river, and we're walking down the road, and I'm now completely soaking wet. And he stops me in the road, and he looks at me and he goes, "Jolly, I know you're soaking wet, but I'm so grateful that taxi never saw us." A couple of weeks later, he nearly ran me over with a hay bale while I was in a tent, singing the Indiana Jones theme tune. I pick my friends really well. For example, at the back of the room is the Vice President of Welfare, Alan Thomas Davis. Alan's job is to look after the welfare of students. I tell you this because Alan once accidentally knocked me out in front of a bus when it was approaching me. While I was dressed as Batman, while he was dressed as the Incredible Hulk, he shouted "Hulk smash" as he knocked me over. I've been here 5 years and he hates me like no one else. But when I get to go back home, I get to go home to my family, and I've got this adorable, nearly 2-year-old nephew called Max. He calls me odd because no one in my family can understand why. But I want to explain to you what a 22-year-old, now that I'm 23, Johnny's Christmas was like compared to a 4-year-old. Realising that I'm allergic to tinsel and I hate the festive period. 4-year-old Johnny, Christmas Eve, you get to open the biggest present in your house, and you rip it open, and it's a scale electric. And you get to play with it, and you don't care about the rest of your family because the material goods are in front of you and you're too young to realise the world's going to fuck you over. And you go to bed and wake up, and Santa's been! And your stocking's been filled, and there's presents all downstairs. And you open your present, you open your sister's present, you open your dad's present because you don't give a fuck about the rest of the family. And then Christmas dinner comes. I've got a really large head. And the plate is still bigger than your head, and it's still stacked 3 stories high because no one knows a recession's coming, so we're eating everything. And your dad has to actually get a fork and help you eat Christmas dinner because there's too much of it. 22-year-old me last year. You get in at Christmas Eve at 4 in the morning, drunk. You do have the one present to open, and it was the Jaeger bomb. But don't worry, because when you've gone to bed and you woke up, Santa's been because he's had his Christmas sherry, and he's had his Christmas kebab. And you know Santa's been because not only is the stocking filled, but someone's been sick in your bed. And you go downstairs, and it's actually 2:30 in the afternoon, and you've missed the entirety of Christmas, and everyone's gone out and left you by yourself. But there is one present for you. It's not a book, and it's not socks. It's a nose hair trimmer. And later in the day, you find out that a nose hair trimmer will shave any hair on your body. And you get to Christmas dinner, and the plate's not as big anymore because of the recession, and the food's not there as much. But on one side of the room, my sister is teaching my beloved baby nephew how to use a fork for his first Christmas dinner. And on the other side of the room, my dad got into his whiskey with his friends at 10 o'clock in the morning, and I'm now teaching him how to use a fork to eat his Christmas dinner as well. And then you get drunk that night, you do it all again the next day with the rest of the family. So I'm going to give you 4 rules of university, and this is as a 5th-year student that has been through everything. Rule number 1, fire alarms are never going to save your life. All fire alarms will do is teach you which bell end cannot cook super noodles at 2 o'clock in the morning. Number 2, and I stress this immensely, never, ever, 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 ever have sex with one of your housemates. Because if you have sex with one of your housemates, you might think it's all for you. But while you don't like the sound of us eating around our kitchen table, we don't like the sound of you having sex in the room next to us last night. Number 3, nobody will ever help you if you go to A&E. They'll come with you to A&E. They'll get they'll put themselves down as your next of kin and then tell you later on the reason they've done this is so if they need to turn off the switch, they can do it for you. And number 4, and this is the most important one if anyone is having a bit of a stressful pressures with new housemates. Every single house you ever live in will have one absolute dickhead that no one else in the house can stand. And if you can't find them, you are them. And I've been here for 5 years and everyone I've met has been lovely, so I don't know what that says about me. I'm a bit of a magician, so I've actually got a magic trick before I tell my final joke, so I want you to think of a random number, any number in the world, you here, yes, and it's in my pocket, I guarantee that number is in your pocket. And the final joke I'll tell you will be about my nephew, and I love my nephew to pieces, like I said, he is mad, and I'll give you a bit of hindsight. My sister once made me walk 2 miles in the rain to get a spider out of her house. So Max has become my greatest weapon in life. I've actually bought him a Scary Monsters Inc. onesie, and I'm going to put him in this onesie and I'm going to hide him under the bed. And when my sister walks into her bedroom, she's very scared by very simple things. And Max is going to jump out and grab at her leg and pull at her leg. And she's going to swear in front of my nephew, that means I can swear in front of my nephew. And he's going to be like, Max, what are you doing? Mummy, I was looking for the monsters under the bed. Mummy, I am the monster under the bed. It's not the worst thing I'm going to do to my sister. We brought him in, my friends have actually joined. It's now kind of a society. We've started it with my friends back home. And we're putting money in to do all these practical jokes, because we all know my sister. And we're going to dress him up all in white while she sleeps on the couch after a hard day at work. We're going to wheel him up in the air on a fishing line. And he's going to be there, floating in front of my sister, flapping his arms like a bird. My sister's going to open her eyes, tired and weary, and he's going to be there, Mummy, I'm an angel now. I'm actually bored from looking after my nephew at the moment, so reviews coming up, so hopefully if this recorded she doesn't see it. So I asked you to think of a number, any number. 27. So my magic is technically right because the number I wrote down is my mobile number. So